like under the in an America First trade world and the responses there too, companies are going to have to spend a lot more money when it comes to trade. Now, there's some obvious ones, trade compliance, customs clearance. But what other expenses are there that companies don't realize they should be getting out in front of?
Well, that's a good question. One of the things that affects companies, especially small companies, that catches them off guard, in order to export, you need to have a bond that is held so that your customs duties can be paid off the bond. That bond amount has gone from relatively small and manageable for most companies to very large, like unexpectedly large. That's a cost that is really catching, especially small firms trying to export to the United States, off guard because they're not prepared to pay that bond, or at least their buyers are not prepared to pay that because you, the exporter, you're not paying it, but the person who's buying from you, they have to pay that. And for many small businesses that are importing, they just don't have the capital to sort of hand over $100,000 to the US government and say, hold this in case I have more imports that come in at a higher tariff level than I expected. So that's an unexpected challenge for firms. The speed with which you have to do that. Also, the tariff itself has to be paid immediately. So you pay that and then you sell the products after that. That's a challenge. This tariff complexity is also creating problems for returns. So if you're selling, especially to consumers, and products need to come back, also a complication and a cost that maybe you haven't thought about. And many of the solutions that we have in place for managing some of this, things like bonded warehouses, potential duty drawback schemes, some of them are a bit more technical, but the point is many of those schemes that you may have been relying on in the past are actually gone under this administration. And so trying to understand what that does for you is difficult. And then the last thing that I would mention in what is likely to be a much longer list is the cost of carrying inventory. If you have to carry more inventory in order to manage disruptions in the supply chain, whatever those are, that's a cost. And for a lot of firms, that inventory cost can be quite substantial as well.